The Supreme Court has less than a week to make a final ruling on the upcoming TikTok ban, leaving many with different opinions on whether the app should stay or go. Laura Sandlin takes a look at the benefits and the risks surrounding this social media platform.
It all began last year when President Joe Biden signed House Bill 7521 into legislation due to rising concerns from the government related to national security. The bill focuses on protecting Americans' data from foreign adversaries that own apps like TikTok and its parent company ByteDance.
If your data is stored, within United States, it is governed by U.S. laws, right? And what we don't realize is that if our data is actually stored in a different country, for example, in China or India or Russia, for example, right? Then who really has control over that data?
Dr. Ahmed Javed works at the University of Toledo in the Computer Science and Engineering Department. His research focuses on cybersecurity. He says every day people's information is gathered online.
Not just phones, but let's say we are using tablets or computers. A lot of those devices, are collecting information about us.
While Dr. Javed says this information can pose a threat, Katie Peters, Director of Communications for Washington Local Schools, says she's seen apps like TikTok benefit her students.
As an educator, saw for years and years students coming into my classroom with information they would not have otherwise had. And not just information, about pop culture and celebrities, but things like current events and civic engagement.
Peters says she understands the fear, but also says as a consumer, she agrees to the risk in the terms and conditions, which includes her data.
As parents and as educators, we have a responsibility to educate and to monitor what that looks like. So I understand the fear, but I also don't know that banning something is going to prohibit the connection that kids are desiring.
Dr. Javed agrees, but says people should be aware.
But my perspective is, that as long as, we are able to ensure that these apps are storing, data within, U.S. soil, we should still, be pretty good. But again, there is still a concern, that what if, that data in some form is transmitted, outside the country.
The Supreme Court is set to make a decision by January 19th. However, if ByteDance sells TikTok, it could evade the ban. President-elect Donald Trump's lawyer says Trump plans to negotiate a resolution to save the platform while also addressing national security concerns.